In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. The Beneficent, the Merciful, Master of the Day of Requital, Thee do we serve, and Thee do we beseech for help. Guide us on the right path, the path of those upon whom Thou hast bestowed favors, not of those upon whom Thou wrath is brought down, nor of those who go astray. What is the object of our Muslim prayer? The object of our Muslim prayer is the purification of heart, which is necessary for the spiritual advancement. The benefit of prayer: Allah promises many blessings to you if you turn to Him in prayer. Nations are no doubt destroyed when they indulge in evil inordinately, and they prosper only so long as their good quality is preponderant. Greetings today, my brothers and sisters. I greet you in peace. I greet you in the words of peace. In the Arabic tongue, Assalamu alaikum. And your reply to me would be, Wa alaikum salam. My dear brothers and sisters, I'm happy to come before you tonight, but very sad for the occasion that we're in. The death of George Floyd has brought so much controversy to the forefront. Not that it wasn't already there, but it has been brought to the forefront, and rightfully so. There is so much for us to do, you and I, brothers and sisters. But all praises be to Allah. There is an answer for the black man and woman. There is an answer for us in Message to the Black Man in America from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That great teacher was given to us, brought to us as a messenger from Master Fard Muhammad. Our messenger, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, comes from Georgia. He had a slave name. His name was Elijah Poole. But all praises be to Allah, he was given a holy name. That name is Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad, who is the center of our affection and our learning and our teaching and understanding of this time and what must be done, and how Allah has already promised us deliverance in these difficult times. And that if we would trust in Allah, if we would trust in the beneficent, the merciful, the omnipotent, and omnipresent Allah, that all things will be given to us in due time. For the white man's time is up, literally. And Allah would have it, He would use this situation with George Floyd to make that permanent. Brothers and sisters, I would like to read to you from this wonderful book, Message to the Black Man, from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And we are thankful for his national representative, the Most Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who has been before us and stayed before us in such magnificent stance and height, continuing to teach us and give us what is necessary in this time to sustain us through this difficulty. For you know the scripture said that had it not been for the elect, the days might not be shortened. But for the elect's sake, the days would be shortened and salvation would come. What is our desire? Our desire is to bring the living God, the holiness of the Almighty Allah on this planet, and to establish His laws forever and ever. Amen. So go with me if you will, if you have this book, Message to the Black Man in America. If you don't have it, you can get it. You can go to NOI.com and get this wonderful, wonderful book, and you will not be sorry that you have gotten it, because there's so much in it to rebuild what has been broken in the black man in America, and to establish what is necessary to keep him strong until the day of requital. So I'm so thankful and happy to be reading from this wonderful book from this dear, dear man from Georgia. And it reads, and we're at page 217. Page 217, Message to the Black Man. And we will be in the middle part of that page 217. The title, The Right of Self-Defense. And this is a very powerful title, because I'll be talking to my black brothers, my brown brothers, and my red brothers. Allah has given us this period to stand and to hold and usher the door of His coming. Amen. That we would stand in the difficulty of these days to protect our people. And this is such a great honor, brothers and sisters. I want you to know this. This is such a great honor and privilege for us to have the ability to do this and the opportunity to do such. So we're very thankful for that. We're not afraid of the white man, because we know that he can't do anything to us. He can't do anything to us. He harm our body, we harm his body. If we're dying, then we know that we must bring his life to an end as well. That's the only way that we're going to stop his sinful actions of killing our women and our children and our sons and daughters, our men. It's the only way. So we are blessed that the messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, saw this coming in the end. For he knew that the white man would not allow us to just go. He won't even allow you to go, much less allow you to be. So this being given to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad from Allah himself was given to us, was set for us in this difficult day. And it reads, the right of self-defense. The so-called Negro of Birmingham, Alabama, and this is during the time of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the great civil rights leader, the Honorable Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the great civil rights leader that believed in the philosophy of nonviolence and nonviolence and passive resistance. And the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is speaking about this in this time, explaining to him that if we would band together as one people, with one focus, one aim, one arm, and move as one unit, we have an army. And not only is he talking to those people, but he's also talking to our brown brothers and our red brothers and our yellow brothers. And so it reads, the so-called Negro of Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama, would have been justified by the law of justice if they had killed every dog sicked upon them by the hired tax-paid policeman. For the taxpayer did not hire the dog to police their lives and property. And if the policeman had fired upon those who defended themselves against the bites of savage dogs, that the police department trained expressly for the purpose of attacking so-called Negroes, they would have been justified by God and the divine law of self-defense to fight and defend themselves against such savage dogs and human attacks. Surely the American so-called Negro would have God, word sympathy on their side if they would take the right steps or action. The present actions being taken by them are wrong, for this action consists of demanding that the slave master accept their slave, the so-called Negro, as their equal and as equal sharers in whatever the master has, such as social respect, which will destroy both as a people, an equal share in the government, decent housing condition, and equal employment. Not that they do not deserve it. No master or anything can accept an unequal as his equal. This law of nature is divinely respected if they, Martin Luther King and his followers, would accept the right way, which is a belief in Allah as God and Islam as a religion, and demand a place in earth for our 20 million or so people that they call their own, I will demand that every one of my followers join forces in a minute. And if what they are asking for would be granted them, it would be short-lived. Nothing permanent is in it for the so-called Negroes. It would be very foolish for a leader of 22 million once slaves to ask for temporary employment for their slave masters' children who now use 22 million for sport. Sicking dogs on the so-called Negroes was done only for sport, to see the frightened so-called Negroes run for their lives. But as soon as the so-called Negroes turn up upon the dogs and the policemen with stones, Washington, D.C. ordered the army to intervene, not to help the so-called Negroes against the white Southerners, but to help the white devils against the so-called Negroes if they tried to defend themselves. But as long as the dogs and the policemen were biting and clubbing black so-called Negroes, it was all right. This clearly shows you how much we are in dire need of unity. But the unity must be backed by a power superior to the power of our enemies. The power is in Allah and the Nation of Islam, whose arms are outstretched, and we would only accept them. Finally, it is ignorant to look for heaven to look for heaven from the devils who only seek to take you in their doom, hell's fire. They, Reverend King and followers, want the rights that the Constitution offers to white citizens, but they are learning the hard way that the Constitution does not apply to the black slave with respect to the right to vote. Certainly there is power in voting if there is justice for so-called Negroes. But the crooked political machine of America can always keep the once slaves free slaves. Brothers and sisters, it is amazing. Here we are. This dialogue here was written, that I read to you, was written in 1955 through, this dialogue itself, what he's talking about, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, pardon me, peace be upon him, is talking about what has happened in 1955 through 1965. In 65, the message of the black man was recorded and sent out in publication. 10 years from the time that the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. started the campaign for civil rights and equality. 10 years, from 55 to 65, they were still fighting for the very same things, making no ground. At this time, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad sent out Minister Malcolm X, and to try to reason with these brothers and sisters that were just ignorant and ill-equipped. All praises be to Allah. And it is very unfortunate that they never quite understood, many of them even in death, that the only way to deal with a murderer or a killer is through killing. The white man is killing you, then you meet him on that standard. You don't throw pearls to swine. You don't give what's holy to the unholy because they don't have any respect for it. You don't take the knowledge of civilized people and give it to a heathen because he'll trample it under his foot. The heathens of the world are called the pigs of the world. And you don't take peace and give it to a warmonger. He'll trample over it. And so these lessons that were valuable and could have been learned were not learned. And so history not learned is history relived. And we are reliving the failures of our parents and grandparents on this situation with race. Where do we go from here? Well, we know where we go from here. We don't go back to where we were before. We don't go back to this man beating us and us not doing anything about it. There have been revolutionaries to rise up and have shot police and taken their lives. And those police can't hurt anyone anymore. Those police can't damage anyone anymore. Those police can't kill anyone anymore. And so we have to understand that justice delayed is justice denied. And when we say it as Muslims, we say it for the people who deserve to be justified, or the people who are justified in taking a rifle, a gun, and whatever else to deal with the enemy that is killing them every day. You and I, brothers and sisters, red, black, and brown, and yellow, are justified in doing what is necessary to get this devil's knee off of our neck before we can't breathe, before we are suffocated, before we are made immobile to do what is necessary and what needs to be done. This devil has killed every place that he's possibly been. And we know it because for the black man, the brown man, the red man, and the yellow man, we have it in our history where he has come and plundered, killed our ancestors, damaged our land, and destroyed our history in so many ways. And destroyed our history of unity with one another in so many ways. So much so that he will lie, cheat, and steal against one, and lie and say that we've done things against one another which we have no knowledge of and have not done and nor would ever do. His trickery is to get us against one another, brothers and sisters. I'm talking to the red man, the black man, the brown man, and the yellow man. The white man's goal is to get us against one another so that we can't see clearly that he's the only devil on the planet, that he's the one that's causing us trouble, that he's the one that's causing hell everywhere. He's the one that's got us in the fire. How do we deal with this man? How do we deal with this man? The way that we deal with him is to stand together, united, and to defend ourselves against a ruthless mob. Because that's what the white man is. The white man is a ruthless mob. There's nothing good in him. All of them are evil. We must understand that. So to my black brother, my brown brothers, my red brothers, and my yellow brothers, we have no alternative. We must fight. We must fight to contain and retain our communities, and we must overtake. And you are talking about revolution. Revolution is not something that is ill practice. It's not something that you do as a hobby, but this is something that you do every day. We're in the revolution. You were in the revolution ever since he invaded your lands and put you in slavery and killed you and brought you to war and destroyed your lands, destroyed your history. You were in war, brothers and sisters. This is the revolution. They say it won't be televised, but it is being televised every day, brothers and sisters. If you're a red man, a brown man, a yellow man, or a black man, the only answer for us is to fight and to destroy this devil and to take this region of the globe. We must take North America for ourselves and kill this man. He's killing our innocent people. He's going into our neighborhoods, going into our homes, killing innocent people. Brothers and sisters, what do you feel that we must do? We can't march. We've marched, and it hasn't answered anything. The only thing that we've ended up having with marches is sore feet. The only thing we've ended up with marches is sore throats, because we're singing and marching down by the riverside to study war no more. We should be studying war. Don't go by the riverside. Your enemy is coming upon you to kill you. So you should be laying in wait for that enemy. You should be ready to attack that enemy who has determined to kill you. There are no good white people, brothers and sisters. When it come down to it, if anything happens, he's going to protect himself. It's you got to have enough sense to protect yourself. The red man, the black man, the brown man, and the yellow man, we have communities. Together, we are more than any police. Separately, we are more than any police. But together, we can literally overcome them, which they are the keepers of capitalism. These are the keepers of capitalism, the keepers of local, state, and national interests. And if we overtake them, then we will become powerful and we will control that local, that state, that national interest. My brothers and my sisters, I'm appealing to you, not as a madman, but I tell you that we're in the same position that Haiti was. We are in the same position that Haiti was in 1791, and really from the position of 1750 to 1791. Because come toward the 1800s, Haiti was experiencing freedom. When Toussaint had rallied the servicemen together, the black brothers and sisters together, he gathered them together for war and talked with them, and they understood that if they rebelled and overtook Haiti from the French, that they could get them out of there. And they did, brothers. That was those that was telling them that they couldn't do it. Toussaint-Louverture had many, even in the camp, that said it would be impossible to take the land. But we look today, and Haiti is a sovereign in its own right. Haiti is a sovereign in its own right. My brothers and my sisters, this is not an impossible task. You run the labor force. You have to understand that. You are the consumer. You are the consumer. You're holding up the purchase market. You are holding it up. So it's not impossible. It is not impossible for us to take America and organize it as a peaceful state and a free black state. And our regiments for war have already been organized for us if we have the faith to move in the power of the Almighty God, Allah. We will win. We will win. And in unity there is strength. To our brown brothers, red brothers, and yellow brothers, we welcome you to come with us. We already have black and brown unity and black, brown, and red unity now. So we're united. The black man, the brown man, and the red man is united. And we're standing on a united front right now. We are ready for war. We have help from the FAC, which are our other revolutionary militia brothers that are standing by. We have the new black militia that is standing by. Our powerful brothers that are standing by, running that organization. We have a myriad of new Black Panther Party that are standing by, and Black Panther Party that are standing by from the original. And we have gang brothers and sisters in the gangs that are standing by, that control certain areas, and that are handy with the weapon, as much as many of us are. And our Muslim brothers and sisters are sprinkled all over. We stand to defend ourselves. We didn't do this. We didn't start it. The white man started it. So we must be willing to go into this new age that Allah has given us, where the white man will be eliminated from this country, from this continent, and that we will all be together and work together in peace. I say again, brothers and sisters, there are no good white people. You have no friend. The white man is not your friend. All they would do is accept interest. And if they're your friend, they won't stand in your way. And if you feel like that they're your friend, that they're different, then kill them before they change. It's the only thing that you can do. If you feel that a white person is an exception, kill them before they change. Other than that, you send them on to their community to prepare for war, and you go to your community to prepare for war, and your job is to keep him out of your community. It's a game of chess. You're keeping them out of your area. If they come in your area, then that's their life. They're killing you, brothers and sisters. To you, I might sound like a madman. To you, I might sound like a madman, but they are killing you. They're killing the red brothers. They're killing the yellow brothers. They're killing the black brothers and the brown brothers. They're killing all of us. Our Crip and Blood brothers are standing by. They're not afraid. They come together. Ferguson brought them together when we ran that campaign. Trayvon Martin had them observing things. And these brothers are ahead of many others. And we're reaching out now to Folk Nation. We're reaching out to GD. We're reaching out to Vice Lord. Reaching out to P. Stone. The Rangers. We're reaching out. Reaching out to MS-13, our brothers. I have many friends amongst these brothers. Good brothers. They're not like the white man says. The white man is tricking you. These brothers are our friends. Brothers are with us. And we welcome you in this country. You don't have to go anywhere. The white man is the only alien in this country. For all of us have a history here. From the black man, the brown man, the yellow man, and the red man have a history here. More so black, brown, and red have a history here. You don't have to go anywhere. The white man is the only alien in this planet, and it's time for us to send him back to these caves. He got to go back. He got to go back. Africa has lent their support. They have amazing regiments that are ready to do things that they have to do over there. The Chinese have sent support. They're ready to do what they have to do. This devil and what he's done has created an amazing source of rage, power, and energy amongst the black man, the red man, the brown man, and the yellow man, and we are ready to move. You know what you must do. You know what you must do. You don't have to be confused about it. So it's time for us to move, brothers and sisters, to do what is necessary, to become what God has insisted that we become, and that's believers, that he is willing to diligently reward those that seek him and are willing to do his will. So my brothers and my sisters, this is what I say to you. I say to you out of love and respect and unity that we must stand. We have no alternative than to stand. And if we will stand up, if we would do the will of Allah, if we will stand up and do God's will, he will do the rest. There's no way for us to lose. If we play by the devil's rules, his rules, and what he does, there's no way for us to lose. There's not enough of them to protect every place and everybody. And he showed us that he don't give a damn about our life. So why should we give a damn about their lives? Brothers and sisters, wake up. This is time. This is the time for us to move. We have talked about it. We have talked about it as I've went all over this nation and talked to many different brothers and sisters and organized. It's time for us to move now and do what we must before many others are killed. There's no need of others being killed because of our negligence. My desire, my prayer is that we will continue to move forward. The last thing I want to say through concentration is do not let the white man say anything to you about me and anything about me to you. Because we are united. We are united and we are brothers. And if we stick together, we can have this entire continent and ultimately the entire globe, because the white man's time has come and his time is up. And when you say revolution, the whole purpose of revolution is to overtake the power. It's a regime exchange. We have to get rid of the present regime and overtake this entire continent for ourselves. I appreciate your time for listening to what I have to say. And I appreciate your spirit. And I soar with you. I walk with you. And I see you standing beside me. Let us go, brothers and sisters, forward in the power of Allah, and realize that with a heavy heart we go to war. With a heavy heart we must kill the police and other white racist organizations that are attacking us and killing us in broad daylight. We have no alternative. And it's with a heavy heart that we go, but nonetheless we do go. We don't believe in killing. We try to commit peace, but you can't make peace with a devil. You can't make peace with a violent devil. So we have to fight. And so we go together. Thank you for your time. I love you, brothers and sisters, and I leave you in peace. In the Arabic term, salam alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, which means peace be unto you. And you practice leaving peace upon the brothers and sisters that you wake up and lie down with. These are the things I have before you. I appreciate you. Thank you for your time. I love you dearly. You know me. I'm your brother, Minister Mauricelm X. And we will go into the new world standing together and holding one another as brothers and sisters, and living by the awesome law of God, which teaches us to love and respect one another. Thank you, brothers and sisters. That's all I have for you on this verbal journey. Amen.